Ooh, I mean, she has a fit on today.
She does. I'll save it for the after
Ew,
pod, but
ew, the neck. Ew. The head was all to the side and cocked. She's feeling
okay, I'm
herself.
sorry. Don't give me a compliment and then chastise me for accepting the Bitch, I know I look good today. This was not an accident.
She said, I put in work. This finger wave
I
started yesterday.
This was a 2-day affair. This was a multi-step process.
Right. Beauty is not without effort, sir.
Beyonce lied when she said I woke up like this. She was not talking about Francesca.
Right. That was a hope and a prayer. Okay. She's hoping that she looks like she did yesterday.
It's a manifestation.
Yes,
It's a mantra.
Ooh, wait. No.
Listen.
Listen.
Wait.
I hate you for that.
Let me fix it. Hi, I'm Francesca Ramsey. I'm an actress, I'm a producer, a writer, and graphic designer.
And I'm DeLon Grant. I'm an actor, a singer, photographer, writer, and an educator. And this week, we're turning the episode over to you, the class, and answering your burning questions that are in our inbox and our DMs. We heard you. Here we are, friends.
Yes.
So let's dive in. This is Fix the Class. Let me fix it.
P.S. I just realized I forgot to write a little tagline for the opening. Welcome back to Let Me Fix It, the podcast that says Francesca forgot to write a tagline.
She did not wake up like this.
This is what happens when you got too many goddamn jobs.
Got things, please.
All right, so DeLon, this first letter comes from a lady classmate who's requested that we give her a fake name. So I'm going to give you the honor of choosing one for her. Please pick a name.
Farah.
Okay. This message comes from Farah. It says, all of the praise. I messaged y'all on IG before to say how much I adore you and you too, so I will keep it short. Your laughter is contagious, and I'm so glad Lacey scammed the congregation into falling in love with you too. Y'all kept me company and make me feel like my pre-motherhood self. Okay. Now let's get into the question. Background. My husband and I moved to a new state without friends or family and have a toddler. Since the pandemic, I work from home fully and don't really get adult interaction. My husband goes into the office. I'm trying to make friends and build a community since our closest relatives are 3+ hours away. I'm trying to keep in mind that people have lives and shit happens, so I still reach out and invite moms that previously declined or straight up ignored. The issue, I'm trying to put my introvert tendencies to the side and invite daycare moms to classes, local events in an effort to make new friends. I'm worried about coming off as annoying or a burden since a lot of moms have a community already. They're local to the area or have family close by. Do I need a hard and fast rule of 3 declines and you're out? Am I reading into things because my mental illnesses, anxiety, depression, ADHD? Am I spiraling and emailing y'all since one of the moms that ignored me nearly hit my car and had to send a double apology text, one for nearly whipping her big ass SUV into my car and the other for ignoring an invite to a wine tasting this morning. Love y'all and thank you for being my parasocial friends. Okay, so Farah, this is tough. I'm sorry that you're in this position, first of all.
For real. Also, like, as somebody who just moved states, I moved to New York to Massachusetts, and I just said yesterday I was at work, and so I was like, and I just realized, and someone was like, what is wrong with you? Because I'm doing this play where all of us dressing room together right now, and I was like, oh, shoot. I was like, I'm just looking on Instagram, and I'm realizing I miss New York, right? New York is like my social life, right?
You miss it? Really?
Girl,
you missed your social
New
life?
York alone?
No.
New York City alone.
First of all, you came for me, so I'm gonna come for you. I'm not saying do you miss New York or you miss your social life in New York is what I was asking.
Oh yes, I miss both. I miss like my social life in New York in that like I have a lot of community there, a lot of friends, but I also love the immediacy of the social life in New York. Meaning like there are so many days where I'm sitting home on like a Sunday afternoon and I've done my shit.
Fall into stuff.
I could just text somebody and go, what are you doing? And the thing I love about New York is like you'll start like, let's go to brunch. And then all of a sudden you go to brunch at noon, it's 5:00 because you like gone to the park, whatever. So Farrah, back to you, girl. I completely understand.
Yeah.
It's so hard to make friends as an adult. Like, Fran, you dealt with this too, moving to LA, right? It's
Yeah.
really, really difficult. But one of the things I want to commend you for is trying and trying and trying again. Like, that's the one thing I'm realizing I'm not even putting myself out there like you are, Farrah. So, like, I do think keep asking people, keep
Yeah.
asking. But my immediate fix, would be to like find a group that you can go to instead of trying to bring them to you, right? Because like find a
Yes.
community that's already established. It could be a book club, it could be a low impact sport, maybe it's bowling,
Yes. Yes.
or it could be something you're not even interested in but you're curious about, so that you can like start creating community there and then start inviting those people that you like to you, right? And then start
Yeah.
hosting events,
Yeah, I think that's a really great piece of advice. I was going to kind of say something in the same vein because, one, again, commend you for getting out of your comfort zone and
Yes.
asking other moms. I will say my friends that are parents often say that they feel like a little hesitant to become friends with the moms in their like kids circles because it
Hmm.
feels like they're just going to only talk about mom stuff. And
Ah,
and
I
and
see.
oftentimes it feels like we are trying to force a friendship because our kids are in the same
Heard.
class or they're in the same whatever. And so those moms might already be like, I already have friends and I'm not trying to like be stuck with you when I see my kid or
Ooh,
whatever.
right, right.
So I agree with you, Delon. Finding some place that you can go to, whether it be a trivia night at your local bar or a
Mm,
book club is a really good one. Check your local bookstore. It doesn't have to be a big box store. I think the local ones are the independently owned ones are usually probably
yeah,
better
way
to
better. They probably have events already scheduled. Yeah, totally.
Exactly. I would say that would be a great way to go. I would also say like this is kind of a stretch, but check your local comedy club. Take a stand-up class. Take an improv
Yo.
class. Like you will be
Snaps
joking
to that,
around.
Fran. Yes.
You will be joking around and to your point about feeling introverted, pushing yourself to do something out of your comfort zone, especially in the safety of other people, is a great way to make friends. It's trauma bonding. Y'all
Yes,
are all going to be like, this is
absolutely.
weird. Now we're friends.
Right. Well, and to your point about like the vulnerability of things and what you talked about in terms of like your mental health stuff,
Yeah.
Farrah. I know that like you've heard on the pod, Fran and I talk about knitting a sweater all the time, right? And
Mm-hmm.
these people, just to address that, and these women or these moms who aren't responding to you, it's life's busy, they have kids, like it's hard. I don't take it personally. I
Yeah.
think you're doing the only thing that you can. Continue to like send out those texts if that's what you need. But to Fran's point, I think like the vulnerability of something and the challenge therein is not only going to open you up but trauma bond, right?
Yeah.
Improv is so fucking hard. I've taken classes in it before and I'm still friends with some of those people, right? So if
Yeah.
there's something like that, I don't know, a group singing class. I don't know if that even
Or no,
exists.
but to your point about a group singing class, I have a friend that joined a local choir,
A
like
choir. Yeah.
joined a men's choir. I would also add an art class. I love art.
Yeah, for right.
So, and again, that type of stuff is always fun because it's not about being the best in the class. It's
Mm-hmm.
not about winning. Everybody is there to learn. You're going to meet people of all different varying levels and backgrounds. Delon, you've taken a Spanish class in
Girl,
person
the
before?
classes. I've taken a Spanish class, I've acting class, voice lessons, guitar lessons. I take music theory classes. I take a
Yeah,
lot of classes.
a
Yeah, yeah,
class
and I'm
yeah.
friends with those people. I really
Mhm.
bond with those people, right?
Yeah, I would also add on the class tip, check out your local YMCA. Is there an
Mm.
aerobics class? My mom's taking water aerobics, which is very
Ooh,
fun. So I think classes are a great way to go. But then also like local theater, for example, is a great place too. And
that's a lovely suggestion,
go
friend.
to the
Yeah.
go to the the bar and the theater before the show and see who you could talk to, hang out afterwards,
You know what a lot of gays do? I mean, I know
Hmm.
you're not a gay, Farah, but a lot of gays like they'll do like league sports. So they'll do
Yes.
volleyball or they'll do kickball, which is like or softball, which seems very low hanging. But what I've realized, I'm not able to do it because I rehearse at night and have plays and stuff that I do at night. But they talk about like the only reason we're actually doing this, some of them are competitive, but most of them are like we drink before the game. We meet and we
You
drink
drink during the
and
game
then we go
too.
and drink birthday cake, and then after we go and eat and drink, right? I've
Hmm.
lived near a little gay bar, and they are packed on Sunday. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh God, because it's people just needing community and trying to find community. As
That
soon
was
as I
me
have
in
space and
tennis.
time,
Yeah.
yes, I'm about to do the same thing as soon as I have space and time. So
Yeah, I think a club is a great way to get started. And to your point about, do you need a hard and fast rule of 3 declines and you're out? I don't think it has to be necessarily you're out, but don't give them the time or energy. I think Dewan
yeah,
was spot on in that, like, everybody has their own shit going on and it
yeah,
really might not have anything to do with you. But also 2 or 3 months later, that person might come back to you and say, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I haven't talked to you in forever. I would love to take you up on that dinner thing," or whatever it might be. Just keep yourself open to the possibility. The thing my mom always says is keep your expectations low. You'll never be
yes,
disappointed. You'll always be surprised. So you
yes.
tried, no need to try again. Go somewhere else and find your community elsewhere.
Right, right. Because it is like dating. Ready?
Absolutely.
Okay. So our next letter comes from Jay. They write, "Hey, Francesca and Delon. I've been enjoying your podcast so much. I don't usually do the pods, but your facial expressions are super gold for my mental health right now. I am. I don't know how to say this. Multifarious? What does
Now,
that
see,
mean?
I said, Jay, you better throw some
You
SAT
better
words up
challenge
in
me.
here.
I
Yeah.
think it's maybe multifaceted, but Jay's also Australian, so that's
Mm-hmm.
maybe like an Australianism.
Yes,
They
maybe.
say they say I'm a multifarious creative and body worker who admires so much your social media skills and incessant humor at life. Inspiring. What I need fixed is how to transmute my broad skill base, which also includes now a barbering qualification into jobs and cash. I
Mm.
have zero admin skills with my neurodiversity as an undiagnosed autistic. I adore being massaged by subs and beats and move not gymnastically, but in an airbender type way. So I just want to explain
This is
that.
like
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like
very woo.
seeing like yes, I'm seeing like arms moving around and
It's very rave. It's very rave.
yes.
And sub he means or they mean sub beats, right? So they mean like dance floor stuff.
Yes.
Low what do you call
Low
that? Hertz,
frequency?
low frequency. There you go, low
Okay, okay.
frequency. They go on to say, dancing is my joy, my expression, my okay. They go on to say, dancing is my joy, my expression, whilst an old knee injury impedes my flow. Yo, please fix it. I'm now living with my parents for the first time since I moved out at 16, away from my community in Melbourne due to greedy real estates and the housing crisis in Australia. Gah, please help me with my dreams. How to be a successful musician and dance floor influencer while being stuck on the Gold Coast amongst my stepdad's car yard. God,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of isms. Um, while being stuck, sorry, read that again. God, please help me fix my dreams. How to be a successful musician and dance floor influencer whilst being stuck on the Gold Coast amongst my stepdad's backyard car yard that makes them look wealthy when really it's all ratchet. This was
Mm.
so fun to read because there's at least 5 references I don't fully
So
grasp, or
so much personality. I feel like
so much personality.
there was a rap in the middle, there was a dance break.
What do you got for a fix, Fran?
Okay, well, I don't know how old Jay is, but I'm going to assume that they're young-ish, younger than us, because they're talking about moving back home, since they've been 16. And I'm going to say the first thing is don't be so hard on yourself. And
Mm,
I say this as someone that has to take this advice all the time. And
right.
Delon, you and I give this to each other all of the time.
Yes.
You can't, you want to do all the things, which is understandable, but you can't do all the things. You have to do one thing at a time.
Yes.
And, shout outs to you for going and getting licensed to be able to do barbering. I mean, that's
Yes.
no easy feat. But you don't have to try and do that and be a dance influencer at the same time. And,
Yes.
or you can do both, but they both might not be making you money or making you a living. Thank goodness you're in a position that you can live at home. Again, I know it's not
Yes.
ideal, but like a lot of people can't afford to do that, or their parents don't have space for them, or they don't have parents at all. So, like, that is a blessing in itself. And
Mm,
I would say, like, look at the barbering thing as an opportunity to go hit up some local salons and ask, Do they have a chair for rent? What does that look
Yeah.
like? Can you work in the space in exchange for something? Maybe you're the person who works the front desk and you're in the barber chair one day a week in
Right.
addition to working the front desk or something like that in order to get your foot in the door, and start building a client base that way.
Yeah, I think that's really solid. That's like use what you got, use where you're
Hmm.
at, right? Because here's the thing, Jay, it's only for now. It's only
Yes.
for right now. Your circumstance is only for right now. Tomorrow's another day. Keep chipping away at it as you are. Keep working hard, and I think you can achieve whatever that goal is. Now, if that goal is becoming a dance floor influencer, my suggestion is I hope you're on social media,
Yeah.
right? Like, why aren't you holding a weekly dance floor party? Like a little
Ooh.
online party where people do it on live, do it on IG. You're the
Mm-hmm.
DJ, have people come, and it'll be small to start. It'll be absolutely small to start, but like creating a Spotify playlist for the weekly dance party, right?
Oh, so
Have
like
at
everybody's listening to the same thing at home?
Yes,
Oh, I
yes,
love that.
exactly. You or like I don't know, there's a way to do this, but like tune into whatever and just play the music at the
Mm-hmm.
same time or whatever. And then you can like have people, you can have people join you on live and have a dance party. Then like
Yeah.
start making little TikTok dances, right? There's a bunch of stuff that you can currently do using social media to become the influencer you want. I love dancing as well. I love being on the dance floor. I feel so free. I've talked about this on the pod before. My freest I ever feel is on the fucking dance floor at a gay dance party.
Mm-hmm.
Just like enjoying myself. I'll go by myself, right? So I hear you on the beats. So there are people out there who feel similarly. You just have to find them, and start by
Yeah.
creating it yourself.
Yeah, I would also add, I don't know if you've seen this, Delon, in New York, but there is a dance studio in LA that, as part of the dance class, they film all of the dances at the end of
Oh,
class
yeah,
and they
yeah.
give you a clip for social media. They do that in New
Oh,
York too?
they do that at Broadway Dance Center. Yeah.
I think that might be a fun thing to look into. And again, use that barbering skill as a barter. You don't know how
Yeah.
many people you might say, like, hey, I can actually cut your hair for you if you're willing to do a dance class for me. And I would also add with like the barbering thing, I had a barber who would do house calls, but it was very expensive. So I never used him for house calls. But I feel like that is an untapped market. Somebody
Yeah.
who will come to your house and cut your hair, is a thing that I think a lot of people would take advantage of. Can you put up a little page on Yelp? I don't know what that costs.
I mean, even on like I don't know what the if the app is available in Australia, but I assume it is because it's just an app. But I use Booksy. It's
Hmm.
Booksy,
Yeah.
and they have like house barbers on there all the time that I've thought
Yeah.
about using. They also have that's where I book. That's where I book appointments with my barber all the
Hmm.
time.
Same.
And Fran, just to add on to the barbering thing and to meld it with this like music dance kind of moment, what if like you got in like to your point with whatever barber and you
Hmm.
started the front desk or you rented the chair as you do, and you say, hey, on like a Wednesday night, could I have like a late night barber moment and just make it a dance? Like, yes, the lights will
Ooh,
still be up, but you'll be
vibey.
playing music. It's vibey. You can come hang out. I have a drink, right? You create a space. Maybe you have your live events there, your live dance parties
A
there, right?
live DJ while you're getting your haircut, I feel like could be so fucking cool.
So cool. Very cool. And also, like, people will walk by. This actually happened to me. I was walking by, my barber was out of town, and I was like, oh, God, I got to wait a whole week to get this big old head cut. And I walked by, and they had, like, the door open, and, like, it just looked like a blast in there. And I was like,
Hmm.
oh, let me go in this place. What's happening? Sat down, got my hair. They offered me a beer. I didn't take it, but like I got my hair cut, and I was like, oh, this was just by having their door open, looking like they're having a good
Yeah.
time.
That is so cool. I think that there is a huge opportunity there. I always really wanted, I thought like a mobile barber would be really cool. You know how like there's all those like food trucks and they just post on
Yes.
Instagram like, hey, we're at
Yes.
this location right now. I would love that for a barber where it's just like,
Yes.
hey, we are on the corner of
Pop-up
such and
barbershop.
we're a pop-up barbershop. And maybe you, Jay, don't have the funds to do that right now, but by going out in your community, similarly to what we told, what was it, Farah is the name that
Farah.
we came up with for Farah. Going out and meeting people, get yourself a cutesy bar, a little business card, or make a
Yeah.
digital one on your phone that you can just airdrop to somebody with your
Mm-hmm.
Instagram and your details and your TikTok and your whatever, and go pound the pavement, go to dance parties, go to barbershops, meet people and say, I'm trying to start my own thing. Are you with
Yes.
me? Sharks, I have a 2% investment.
I'm looking for $200,000. Also, just shout out to on your point about the digital business card.
Hmm.
Not they're not sponsoring this, but DOT. I have one on my phone. You can see
Oh,
this like little yellow dot on my
and you
phone
is that the
class.
thing? You just put your phones together?
Yeah, I just tap it to the top of your smartphone, and it takes 1 or 2 seconds. It has to stay there, but it like just pops up almost like a QR code when you
Yeah.
like QR code something. It is so fun because like people are like, oh, well, how do I get in contact with you? And it's like a little like gimmick, at
Yeah,
the
it's
end of a meet.
interactive.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah, I went to an event and somebody used something. It wasn't that, but it was a similar site that you like scan someone's QR code on their phone. I mean, look, I get it. It's hard. The job market these days is really
Yeah,
difficult.
and the real estate market, ready?
It's hard, but I think it sounds like people are inspired by you and I is that we are constantly getting out of our comfort zones and reinventing ourselves. And look, Delon
Yes.
and I are in our 40s and we're making career pivots all the time.
Talk
That's just
about
part of
it.
life,
It
And
really,
so
well, it's
like,
part of being like younger. Like, no,
yes,
gone are the days where you spend 30 or 40 years in a gig. I mean, I call it gigs in a career or a job.
right.
That's not hard and fast, but like a lot of people I know went to school for something and got a job in something else, and
Yeah.
or are at our age going like, oh no, I think I need to switch companies. Like we
Yeah,
don't
I
people
think
don't stay
that's
at
our
companies any
generation.
longer.
I think that's our generation for
It's true.
sure. I think it's that, and I think it's also uh, as frustrating as it is. Like personally, I wouldn't want to stay in the same job for 30 plus years, but it's also like a privilege to be able to say, you know what, I'm going to start over. I'm going to
Yeah.
move to another city. I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to drive an Uber part time while I figure out what I'm doing. I'm going to start a
Mm,
business with a friend. Like I'm going to open an Etsy store. I'm going to make TikToks and make money off of that. Like there's so many different ways that you can build a career now that our parents and grandparents didn't have access to.
right.
So in that same way, I think you just have to be a little scrappier and see the
Yes.
potential everywhere and go like, yes, I'm going to this dance party tonight, but I'm also keeping like my ear to the ground. Who here can I
Mm.
potentially network with? Let me go talk to the bartender. Hey, who cut your hair? How much do they charge you? Like
Ooh,
you need to
yeah.
start getting out there and making connections and just be open to the possibility that the thing that you're supposed to be doing, you might actually have to be, forthright enough to go get it versus somebody saying like,
Yes.
here's a job for you.
Especially if you know you have a goal, if you have something
Hmm.
specific you want to do. And Fran, I also want to pull that thread about going up to people at an event or at a dance party or trying to start a conversation, which I think just ties back to what Farah was saying. It can be difficult to do that. It's very
Yeah.
vulnerable to go up to a stranger and talk to them. Either way, romantically or just friendship wise or connection, acquaintance wise. But
Hmm.
it gets better with practice, right? It's going to
Yes.
be the first few times. And you know what? It may never be easy because for me, it's not super easy. But I know that my way in is asking questions just because people love talking about
Hmm.
themselves. So just
Yes.
asking questions. So that's a really smart idea to who cut your hair? Such a great in. Such a great in.
Yeah. What is that? A 1B on the top? You.
Now that fade needs some work now.
I mean, I will say I mean, and they're probably hitting on me, but I've had guys talk to me about my haircut and they've said like, ooh, that lineup is clean. Who did that? And I'm like, oh,
Mm.
whoever and so whatever. So that's
They
really,
were flirting, but that's a really good line though.
it's a good one. Cause I'm like, ooh, she needs a little bit,
What
but
do you
whatever.
mean? No.
All right. Our last letter comes from a friend of the pod, Cheryl in Boston. First of all, thank you. You two got me through a recent drive from Albany to Boston and back the next day. I do it a few times each year to pre record pledge breaks for PBS, and at the time, I chose your pod to listen to. I previously listened to Jumping the Shark, but this time I started from your very first episode. You two are having so much fun. Your banter is wonderful to listen to, and your laughs make me laugh. Love your deconstruction of the main topic of the episode and subsequent fixes. To that end, how would you fix this? And Cheryl linked to the Oreo Barbie if you scroll down, Delon.
Oh, I
Um,
see. I see her.
so, so as a side note, this Barbie was released in the 90s and was very quickly pulled from the shelves. They had a white one and a black one, but the black Oreo Barbie did not last for very long, and we'll get into that for certain. So Cheryl goes on to say, I own one purchased years ago when I first heard about it. Unfortunately, one of the best posts about it, which included Cracker Barbie as well, no longer exists. I'm currently listening to the episode on Look Who's Talking. Never seen it. Now I have to. Would love to see the remakes with your fixes. In the meantime, be well, keep it up, and Francesca, hope to meet you when you come to Boston. Delon, hug you soon. So Delon, I'm going to kick it off to you. Can you explain to the class what the Barbie looks like first
Okay.
and
So,
foremost?
class, we know what Oreos are, right? So it's basically an Oreo branded Barbie, right? It's a
Mm-hmm.
black Barbie, black hair. She has a maroon lip on, but everything is of the blue hue, different hues of blue
Mm-hmm.
from Oreo. So she has like a little overcoat, a long sleeve shirt with Oreos on it, a jean kind of skirt with an Oreo and the brand Oreo over the actual cookie. And then the box she's in is also blue with the Oreo brand on the bottom. So like a normal Barbie box Barbie on the top, and then the Oreo brand on the bottom with a Oreo dunking in some milk, right? But I mean, for context around those who don't understand, Fran,
Yes.
you and I are used
I
to
thought you were going to be
the.
Fran. You're an Oreo. That's what I thought you were gonna
That's because that's
say.
triggering, right? Because you were already on guard, right?
I got
Already on
listen
guard.
already. The hairs on my neck were
That's
standing
what
up.
I'm. Me too. Me
If you
too.
don't know, class, Oreo was used for quite some time. I feel like it's out of fashion. I don't think anybody's saying this
I mean, it's
anymore.
so because it's beyond a slur. Like it's more than a slur.
I don't know, but the idea was that if you, this was a way that you would call a black person not black enough because they are like an Oreo cookie. They are black on the outside and white on the inside. You know, me from
Which
West Palm Beach, Delon from
Duluth,
Minnesota.
Minnesota, right?
You
But it's
know,
like it's. I mean, this is my trauma speaking, right? This is
mhm.
my trigger trauma speaking, but it is dehumanizing,
Oh
right?
yeah.
I'm being compared to a sweet treat. Like
Well, and that's a
also,
whole
and it
nother thing because why are black people? It's always you chocolate, you cocoa, you almond, you butter pecan. Like, why are we all these food items?
I right. Well, because they want to eat you. But also like I do think it just diminishes who so much of our history and
Right.
so much of what it means to be in America and succeed in America. And also like how I am like this is who I am and what is wrong with that? You know what I mean? And it wasn't until I
Yeah.
went to Michigan college and I
Hmm.
met you and other people like us that speak like we do and but also are very black. And I was like, "Oh,
Yes.
you had the same experience?" And it wasn't black people doing it. Black people were
Oh,
saying
oh
that to
yeah,
me.
yeah. White people were not calling us Oreos. I mean, it's this whole respectability politics thing, and it's multi-layered in the sense that yes, it was very hurtful when people would say that to me. But if I'm being totally honest, I started to kind of feed into the respectability politic of it all and be like, "Ugh, I'm not like
Mm,
those girls. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
Reverse.
mm,
Yep. Power.
like just exactly trying to take my own power back as
Yeah.
in like a well you're not going to hurt me, I'm going to hurt you
Yeah,
first type of
exactly.
thing.
Exactly.
Here's the thing though. I will say I'm not sure they should have pulled this because yes, Oreo has been used as a slur, but this Barbie is just about the actual Oreo cookie Barbie. You know what like do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Like
No,
it's
I do hear you. I feel like to and correct me if I'm wrong. It's like
Mhm.
when if you lean into pulling it, then you actually say the thing is the thing. You're saying like
Yes.
you're validating the idea that a black person is called an Oreo by
Right.
pulling it. Is that what you're kind of saying in
Yeah,
there?
I mean, I just think it's the thing of like, again, I'm not saying that the nickname or the slur doesn't exist and that it's not harmful, but I'm just saying that the amount of people who probably picked up on it
I see.
in comparison to like how many people just saw this and thought oh, it's just a Barbie for Oreo. It'd be different if it was only a black Barbie for Oreo and like
Sure.
the white Barbie was for, I don't know, sugar cookies or something else. But they had a black Barbie.
Snickerdoodle. I love a snickerdoodle.
I
tear it down.
love a Snicker. Wait, sorry to go on a tangent for 1 second here. I was talking about this with a friend at a party the other night. I'm not a big chocolate person. I've never been a big chocolate
Me
person.
either, actually.
But I love a chocolate chip cookie, but I eat around the chocolate chip because the cookie part of the chocolate chip cookie is so good. No, you disagree?
Wait, I'm confused. You're talking about like a soft chocolate chip cookie?
Yes, a soft
because
chocolate chip
when you get
cookie.
a hard chocolate chip cookie, you're like, this is
No,
I feel robbed.
I don't want that. I want a mushy gushy.
I bet you do.
Yeah.
A fucking mushy
Gay.
She loves a mushy sweet. God damn. Tres leches, fucking tiramisu.
Yeah, yes. If my food does not sound like fucking Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion, I don't want it. No. So I'm talking about a soft chocolate chip cookie. You eat around the chocolate chips because that part of the cookie. And here's the thing: you can't get a just naked chocolate chip cookie. It's not a snickerdoodle. It's not a sugar cookie.
What do you mean a naked chocolate chip cookie?
Like the batter that's in the chocolate chip cookies, I'm saying, is somehow better and different than a cookie that just doesn't have chocolate chips in it. Do you see what I'm talking about?
You're just saying like it's a better experience.
Yes, and what I really want is that batter sans chocolate chips, and it doesn't exist.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're like, I would like the
a naked
cookie?
chocolate chip cookie is what I'm calling it.
That's really funny that it's a naked. And someone is just gonna be like, so you just mean like a sugar cookie?
It's not a sugar cookie though, because a sugar cookie has sugar on top of it, and it's
you don't want that either.
No, it's a different. And the sugar cookie is a different flavor. It tastes.
You know I bet you could. Have you ever tried to make it?
I have not. You know, I make everything else. I can't. What am I going to
make it a TikTok, girl? Shit, make some money. Back to Oreo Barbie though. Like, how do we fix it? I don't know that there's a fix for this for me.
Yeah.
I do hear you on not pulling it from the shelf, but it's akin to. Do you remember when H&M had that little black boy in the coolest monkey in the jungle sweatshirt? There was also
bad.
like, I think there was some other brand that had a swastika hidden in their something.
There's a whole Reddit community called Accidental Swastika because it happens so often in design. Like people are putting things together and it's just like, I kind of think there's a swastika in there.
Crazy. So like it's not exactly that, because I think I hear your point. Like it's very niche, the number of people who would know the reference. But like I kind of think as a brand, if you do it before it blows up. Take it off the shelves before it blows up and actually becomes a thing, I think would be the fix. Because I don't know how else to fix it. And or make more Barbies that are of the cookie brand. Make a Dorito Barbie.
Listen, if you are somebody that has one of these Oreo Barbies at home, you might be able to make some money off of it because there's some on eBay and they're very expensive.
How much are they?
Oh my God, like $20,000-$30,000. Because they're so rare.
Here's the thing: I don't understand how we value these things. I know the rarity, sure, but like art is like this too. Why is a painting 16 million? What? $16 million to sit on your wall? I don't mean to diminish artists.
But I hear you in the sense, like, where does that number come from?
It's so crazy. It feels so arbitrary.
It's something, I mean, I think with art, they probably factor in like materials and time and demand and like all of that stuff and like scale. But to your point about the Barbie of it all, who decides that it's worth $20,000 or $30,000 just because there aren't that many of them or just because it was discontinued? I don't know, but ultimately somebody is going to pay it, I'm sure.
Right.
So more power to you.
Listen,
I will not.
Cheryl, I hope you get some money for this, though, girl. I hope you get some money. So, friends, we fixed y'all. We tried to fix y'all. The three of you who we talked about, please let us know if we fixed this. Get it.
Please do.
Us on Instagram, you know what to do, at FixItPod, or email us at LemmeFixItPod@gmail.com. And friends, the rest of you, keep sending them in because we want to do more of these episodes.
Yes, please. And you can also DM us on Instagram if you want. You can
Yes.
send us a voice note on Instagram. I
Oh,
think that
I'd
would be very
love.
fun to share those if you feel comfortable doing it. So please be sure to hit us up. We want to do more Fix the Class in the future. And now it's time for everyone's favorite segment, the Glow Up, where we give props to those who've turned themselves around without our help. But first, let's take a quick break. And we are back. Delon, would you like to go first?
Why not?
Okay.
So my fix today, or excuse me, so my glow up today is kind of like snarky.
Okay.
Or not snarky, but like a little bit cheeky.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving it up to gout and disease.
Okay.
Do you remember? You know what gout is?
Yes, I do. And it's so funny because literally today, as I was leaving my apartment building,
You're like,
my
I have
neighbor,
gout.
my neighbor was walking up to me and was limping. And I said, "Are you okay?" And he said, "Oh, I have gout." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Bye." Like, like, I don't know what to tell you, but I was like,
He's like,
"Oh,
I
as
have
long,
nothing to say in
as
response.
long as you know what's wrong, like, fine with me." Because I
love-
see him all the time, and I'd never seen him limping before. So
I just love that you walked up to him and you're like, "Are you okay?" And you were not going to say shit about what happened to him, but you were just like, "I just want to show concern."
yeah, I
You were
still,
like, okay, bye.
Okay, first of all, you're fucking rude. Second of all, that's my little friend. That's my friend. And when I saw
little
him,
friend.
he is my friend. Do I know his name? Hell no. But I talk to him all the time. He loves flex. He's a smoker. He's always outside smoking. And he was walking
That's probably why you got gout.
he was walking towards me and he did the thing of like, I clocked that he was limping and he did the like, oh, well, what can you do? You know what I mean? Like he made a gesture like, yeah, you know, at it again. And I was like, oh my God, you okay? What happened? And he was like, you know, he kind of just said it very quickly as like not a big deal. And I was like, oh, okay. See you later. Like, what am I supposed to say?
I mean, you're not supposed to say anything, but I love the inquiry and then bye. That's just funny. But also,
Sucks
like,
to be you. Like, I don't
totally,
know.
keep pushing.
So wait, what is it?
It's arthritis in your foot.
Oh,
But it's like from the medieval times. Like Henry VIII suffered from gout.
It sounds like
people
it. Yeah.
People who eat like a lot of like drink a lot or have a lot of grease in their diet, whatever, they can get gout.
Okay.
But like this also brings me to, remember when measles came back? Polio is up.
All of y'all anti-vaxxers.
Anti-vaxxers. I think it was mumps is coming back. I said, damn, we spent all this time to get rid of all. I think smallpox is the only disease that we eradicated that it hasn't come back yet. Monkeypox, her sister, came back. But like,
Lord.
there's just all these diseases. And I'm like, it's the 7 plagues that came in the Bible. I know I'm a heathen, I don't know, but I was like, it feels like everything is happening at once. Gout? You're talking about gout?
So is it something that you actually catch, or is it something that you're just born with, or something you develop?
It's something you develop. It's like a cancer. So like it's like heart. I think I'm not a doctor. We're not doctors, so let me say that first of all, right?
Yeah.
But I understand it to be like a heart disease or like a liver disease. Like your environment and the things you're putting in your body or your lack of exercise can metastasize into a condition, right?
Okay.
It's not going to kill you, obviously, but it's really uncomfortable per your neighbor, right?
Yeah.
Limping. I knew a woman that I worked with that had young, like literally in her 30s, was like, yeah, I got gout. Like I'm a middle-aged man, a middle-aged medieval man.
Yeah. So
Crazy.
don't call it a comeback, call it a glow up.
I also wanted to glow down because this shit is like, as we get older, I'm like, oof, there's a myriad of things that could happen to us and that I do not want to happen to me.
Yeah. My friend Amani, Crutches and Spice, talks about that all the time. The idea that disability, a lot of people want to be ableist without actually acknowledging there is a high probability that at some point in your life you will become disabled.
Yeah.
It's not something that you can just like cross your fingers and say, I'm going to be fine for my entire life. Like, we get older, and if you have the
Yes.
privilege of getting older,
Talk about it.
your body starts to deteriorate, and it's part of the experience.
For
So,
real, for real.
oh my God,
So my Jesty glow up is to gout and other
shout
diseases that are popping back.
out to gout.
Look at you. Look at the bars. Fran, what is yours?
Okay, so my glow up goes to early morning naps, mid morning naps. Let me
Oh.
tell you, Delon, I am now going to the gym at 7 o'clock in the
Proud of
morning,
you.
and but I started going. I'm gonna say like it's been about 3 weeks, maybe a little over a month. And that first week, when I tell you it was kicking my ass, by
Mm.
1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, I was over here dying. And my trainer was like, "You ever think about taking a early nap?" And I was like, "Well, I like an afternoon nap." She was like, "No, no, 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 no. If you're going to the gym at 7 in the morning, take a nap at 11." I was like, "Okay,
Because it
Delon,
does hit you right about then, doesn't it?
let me tell you, I take a nap at 11, get up at 11:30, walk my dog. It's time for lunch. I feel like I could do anything. I don't have to drink another coffee. I'm just like in here like Maria.
Superwoman.
The hills are alive with the sound of music. I'm spinning around. I got a big skirt on. Where did this come from? I don't know. I got it from the nap. I am telling you. And you know what it made me think of, Delon? It made me think of how when we were a kid, we didn't want to take a nap. We
Oh God.
never wanted to take a nap. Here as an adult, all I want to do is take a nap.
I mean, I think it's also crossing the Rubicon of 40 because I take my naps. I took a nap at 4 o'clock today.
Oh, no, no,
I
no.
took
That's
a
too late.
30-minute nap. No, well, because I stay up. You go to bed. Like I had stuff to do. I had
But
we had
can
the
you go to
podcast to
bed?
record.
Here's my problem. If I do too late in the day, I can't sleep at night.
I mean, but I can sleep, but I'm up until like 1.
Oh, yeah, no,
Yeah,
no, no.
you want to go to bed early in that.
Yeah.
But no, I literally would take a 30-minute nap. Also because like I'm on show schedule right now. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
like my play doesn't start. I have to be at the theater at like 6:30,
Oh,
7.
yeah. Oh,
And I'm
yeah.
not home until 10.
So
And then
you
you wind
you
down
need that
and
second wind in the
yeah,
evening.
a lot of times. So like when I get that nap though, oof, I can get through it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a slog to get through the rest of the night. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That nap sold it today because I was like sitting kind of doing email before the pod at 4 o'clock, and I was like, head was bobbing a little bit, and like, or you have to the words start getting a little
Oh,
muddy, and I was like, let me lay
God.
my ass down on the couch. Don't go
Mm-hmm.
into bed because the bed is a wrap. Do you
Oh.
go in the bed for a nap?
Yeah, I can go on. I just had to put my alarm on. If
Wow.
I don't put my alarm on, it is a wrap because I mean, the 11 has been happening, but when I was doing like afternoon, I would
Mm.
wake up and all of a sudden I'd be like, it's 5 o'clock. I've slept for like 3
Yeah,
hours.
exactly.
And I wake up and I'm like
It's
drunk. I'm
over.
like,
Totally. And then
oh,
your body has to like come out of that, which takes 45 minutes.
yeah.
And then you're up and you really have a second win. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
like
I
to go
can't
to
do
my
it.
bed because it's harder for me to get out of bed because
Hmm.
my bed's fucking comfortable. I can't tell
You
you how many
know,
dudes have been like, "Oh, this is nice."
not you. Okay, that is so funny. Like, I was about to talk about my sleeping experience. It's like you have a rating. Like, I feel like you get into the bed and it's like 3 out of 5 dudes say Delon's bed is
My Yelp
fantastic.
review. Honestly,
I,
though, there have been many do this. Like, this is a nice bed, and I'm like, I know.
that is so funny. I was gonna say I feel like I could use a bed upgrade. Mine's just fine. I'm not like, ooh, I
Yo,
miss my bed. I'm so like I miss being home and I miss my dog and I miss being in my space, but I'm not like craving my bed.
oh my fucking god!
What
Let
do
me
you
tell
think? What's
you.
making the bed so good? Is
Well,
it the
let me. I
pillows? Is it the
so
firmness?
it's the mattress. It's the mattress straight up. And I got in trouble because I was like, this is one of those moments I was like, I didn't realize I was this bougie. So I was like talking to 2 other people about a mattress. And they're like, oh, mattresses, la la la. And I was like, oh God, yeah. I was really cautious about spending $2,200 on it, but I'm so glad I spent that money. And they were like,
Mm-hmm.
you spent $2,000 on that mattress. And I was
I
like,
mean,
my
I
mom.
feel like that's what mattresses go for.
Me too, but that's what my mom said too. I mean, because to their credit, that was as much as my rent in Brooklyn when
But
before they started raising the prices.
how long have you had the
It's
mattress though?
been almost 10 years.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that's the thing, right? Like I would rather spend the money on a mattress and
yes,
have it for 10 years than have to get a new one every year because they're like falling
Because they're
apart.
bootleg. Like
Yeah.
it's like a hybrid, so it's like springs and like the foam.
Mm.
It is glorious. And I honestly, someone had warned me when I was going to get my mattress. I got it at Macy's, and they were like,
Mm-hmm.
"Listen, really spend the money on the mattress." And I
Yeah.
thought they were trying to sell me. And then this woman across the way was like, "She's right." She was looking for, and then that woman had me lay on mattresses with her because her husband wasn't there. She was like, "My husband won't come to do this with me.
Oh.
Will you just lay on these mattresses
She was
with
like,
me and
"How
let me
much
know?"
do you weigh? You look about 2'6".
You look
Yeah,
about his size.
Yeah, you
But
know
like,
what? I need to do that.
honest to God, I swear by it. I swear. Casper, come and sponsor a
Oh,
bitch.
yeah. Because, I told you my back has been bothering me. I've been doing Pilates for
Yes.
it, but I do feel like the combination of the beds and my pillow situation might be contributing to my back stuff.
What do
I
you
don't
mean by the pillow situation? Just like they're not the right firmness, or
I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like I need better pillows, or
oh,
like
heard.
how they have those like special pillows that are made to like fit your
You know,
ergonomically fit your neck or something like
I
that.
have a square pillow because I have a broad shoulder,
Okay.
and it's meant for broad shouldered people to like help you because like you can get just like a little like this, and then your neck's
Yeah.
crinky,
And I sleep on my side, and I
You're
think
a
that's
side
bad. I
sleeper.
think that's bad for your back.
It's got to be.
I
Do
think
you
it
have a
is.
body pillow?
No, I do have a body pillow, but I don't sleep with it.
Oh, you wouldn't like try like kind of
Cradling it?
yeah, like cuddling with it. Like get in
Oh,
there,
is that supposed to
hold it
help?
tight. You know what it does? They say like if you separate your knees a little bit, like that
Yes.
helps your spine because they're not
Yeah.
your hips aren't collapsed on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
I think like having the sleeping on your side as side sleeper myself, you kind of collapse into yourself with your shoulders too. So if you have the
And
body
that's like
pillow,
this.
all your body weight's leaned on the body pillow, and it
Ooh.
opens you up a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like
We are so
we
old.
we are so old. You know what I feel like? I used to be able to do a back bend when I was a kid. I can't do it anymore. I feel like I need to do a back bend all of the time. I just want to like
Really?
do.
Oh,
I, I want to
Graham, you know what?
hang on something so that my whole back can stretch out. I'm always like twisting and curve, and it's just I just feel like
Yeah.
it's never right.
It's
Um,
because you know what? It's the time you spend on the computer.
Oh, it's the computer, it's the phone, it's the
Yeah,
terrible
the hunched
posture, it's the
over.
tiny
Yeah.
titty, it's all of it. Like
She said I'm unbalanced.
I know it's not the balance of a tiny titty. I just started class. One of my tits is smaller than the other. It's everybody has this, but for a very long time I had a huge complex about it, no pun intended, a little complex. And I think because of it, I always started kind of hunching a little bit to make my
Oh.
chest not as prominent.
Oh
And
man.
in addition to being tall and being uncomfortable with being tall for such a long time, I just got kind of used to like
Being trying to make
standing
yourself
on one
small.
standing on one side, with one hip, or kind of, just always kind of making myself small. Exactly. And
Yeah.
now I have to conscientiously think about all this. And my neck, I'm like this too. I got like
Yeah.
the weird pterodactyl neck.
I hear you because like I have the same, not the same back pain, some of it, but I realized that I do have decent posture, but because I'm always on the computer, it has like
Hmm.
I'm now used to like a hunched position, and I
Yeah.
have to remind myself to like stand up straight. It's a hard task. Um,
Yeah, I just bought a new computer chair, and I'm excited about it. It's one of those chairs that you can like sit in lots of different ways.
oh,
You can like sit
into
with
like your legs are bent and
you
stuff.
can sit with your feet up, you can sit with your feet crossed, you can sit on the
Oh,
side. Like, and when I work, I always move around a lot in my chair, so I'm excited
yeah,
about that. I'm hoping
yeah.
I'm hoping it helps.
It will. It will. So, class, we want to hear from you. What else do you need fixed? Let us know. As we just said, we want more of your emails. Or maybe you'd like to suggest a TV show, celeb, or brand we should fix in a future episode. Hit us up on Instagram at
why did
FixItPod.
why did
Well,
you invite
I'm
Murphy
giving
Sharper?
I'm giving you a different read, as we say in the
Oh,
biz, right?
oh, listen, I work in the biz, so you don't.
Hit us up on Instagram at FixItPod or email us lemmefixitpod@gmail.com.
Also, don't forget we have a YouTube channel where you can see our beautiful faces. As Jay said, they love seeing us on the pod. So please check us out, youtube.com/@symbol Boop.
Fax it machine.
Yeah, just kidding. youtube.com/@fixitpod. And if you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to give us a rating over on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, or your favorite podcast app. I'm Francesca.
And I'm DeLon. And this
And
was
this was
Let
Let
Me
Me
Fix
Fix
It.
It.